These are part of the same series. They're larger. These are 22 by 30 rather than 18 by 24. This is collage. These are cut out images that I used in other pieces as stencils with spray paint. And then I took all these loose pieces and spontaneously put them together. There's a nice positive and negative thing happening with some of these. You can see some of the figures are black and some of them are white because I cut out around these cutout forms. There's a sort of a back and forth that happens between the black and the white. There's a nice flow, a nice kind of rhythm to these. That's a nice thing about collage. You can treat composition as you can treat it differently than if you're just painting something on a canvas or on a piece of paper. You can take an image and move it around and put it where you want it. You don't have to repaint it. So there's a nice spontaneity and playfulness that happens. A female figure. A male figure. Something that I come back to again and again as an image or as an idea, as a concept, is the idea of an inner space that we experience with our bodies, that we're not just objects in space. We have a sense of interiority to us. We have a sense of an inside space into which the world comes through our senses. And I try to capture that in various ways. See, this one was cut out from this one, and you can see fragments of the image that was here. There's a kind of a face. I want them to be very simple and elemental, iconic. Just to render the experience of being alive and of being in your body, experiencing the world through your senses. positive and negative, movement, flow. Here's a contrast between this symmetry of these two figures, the balance and symmetry of it versus a figure coming in from outside of the image. Figures, fragments of figures interacting in various ways, each with its own identity, each with its own movement, its own trajectory. Put the cutout pieces of paper onto the sheet, spray over it with spray paint. These are stones that I put on the surface. Sometimes I use the stones to hold the paper down if it's windy out when I'm making these. And sometimes I just like to have them as a sort of a random element. I'll use plants and leaves and branches and things like that as well, as a way of incorporating actual traces of nature into these. Little flashes, odd little bursts of light. The figure surrounded by waves radiating. Some of these you could orient them differently. It could be vertical or it could be horizontal. Two figures reaching out. Between the two, there's a charged space. This could even be like the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve. This stuff, it's just junk, it's yard waste. Little bits of rocks and gravel and grass and twigs and just junk that I just threw down there. But when I go over it with the spray paint, it becomes kind of like sparkles, kind of like stars or some kind of energetic something. There's the natural elements, and then there's the man-made elements, the things that I made, and they blend together with each other. It gives it a kind of dimensionality and multi-level feeling to it. Thank you.